Welcome to this explainer. If you think modern corporate negotiations are tough, wait until you see the deal we are looking at today. We're diving right into an intense, high-stakes negotiation from ancient history, found directly in the text of Numbers 32. It's an absolutely fascinating early masterclass in conditional contracting and conflict resolution.
So let me ask you, would you go to war for your neighbor's land if you already had your own securely locked down? It's a tough one, right? But that exact dilemma is what kicks off our narrative today. It forces us to look right at the tension between individual desires and community responsibility.
Let's dive into Section 1, the Big Ask. This is all about cattle, prime real estate, and a seriously bold request. Picture this. The tribes of Reuben and Gad are sitting on a massive, massive multitude of cattle, and they look out at the lands east of the Jordan River, specifically Jazer and Gilead, and they realize, wow, this is literally a cattle rancher's paradise. The only problem, the rest of the Israelites are heading west across the Jordan River to Canaan. So Reuben and Gad approach Moses and the leaders with a simple but honestly shocking request. They basically say, hey, let this land on the east be given to us as a possession, and please just don't make us cross the Jordan River with everyone else.
Which brings us to Section 2, Moses' historical warning, and the very real fear of repeating the past.
As you can probably guess, Moses is absolutely furious at this request. He instantly sees it as a catastrophic repeat of history. He points right back to Kadesh Barnea. He's like, remember when your fathers went to scout the land but ended up discouraging the heart of the entire nation? That failure kindled the Lord's anger, and it bought them 40 years of wandering in the wilderness until that whole generation was consumed. Moses warns them that they're rising up as an increase of sinful men, and if they turn away now, they are going to destroy all the people.
He actually hits them with this incredibly powerful, piercing question. Shall your brethren go to war, and shall ye sit here? I mean, he demands to know how they could possibly just sit comfortably with their cattle, while the rest of their brothers literally fight for their inheritance.
Well, they definitely feel the heat. Realizing the sheer gravity of Moses' anger, the tribes instantly pivot and step up with a major counteroffer. They say, we will go ready-armed before the children of Israel until we have brought them unto their place. They knew they had to prove their absolute dedication to the rest of the community no matter what. So, how do they formalize this? Let's look at Section 3, the frontline compromise, and how they drafted this ancient contract.
What unfolds next is just a brilliant piece of conditional contracting. It's basically a four-step plan. First, they ask to build sheepfolds for their cattle and fenced cities to protect their little ones. Second, they promise to arm every single man for war. Third, they will cross the Jordan to fight right on the front lines. And fourth, this is the kicker, they swear they won't return to their own houses until every single Israelite has received their inheritance. It's a massive, massive commitment.
Moses listens to this offer, leading us to Section 4, striking the deal, where the terms are finally accepted.
Moses lays down the stakes, making it crystal clear in front of Eleazar the priest and Joshua. It's a very strict if-then scenario. If they go armed over the Jordan and fight until the land is subdued, then boom, they can return guiltless before the Lord and they keep Gilead. But if they break this promise, they've sinned. And as Moses famously puts it, be sure your sin will find you out. If they fail to fight, they forfeit their lands on the east entirely and will be forced to take possessions in Canaan with everyone else.
The response is swift and resolute. Thy servants will do as my Lord commandeth. Just like that, the children of Gad and Reuben agree to the stipulations, legally and spiritually sealing the pact. But a contract is only as good as its follow-through, right? Moses officially grants the kingdom of Sihon, the kingdom of Og, and the lands of Gilead to Gad, Reuben, and half the tribe of Manasseh. And the tribes immediately get to work. The children of Gad built up cities like Dibon and Ataroth. Reuben built Heshbon and Elialah. They successfully secured their home front, building those fenced cities for their families and folds for their sheep before keeping their word to head off to the front lines. Which brings us to our final takeaway. This ancient negotiation from Numbers 32 leaves us with a truly fascinating thought to close on. When you make a deal for your own security, what are you actually willing to risk to fulfill your promise to the community? It's a pretty incredible, timeless reminder about balancing our own personal prosperity with the needs of the people around us. Thanks for joining me for this explainer, and I'll leave you to ponder that question.